Hello, my faithful fans, followers. Yes, it's time for another boxing prediction video. Number 198, I believe. Yes, well, this time I will be mainly focusing on only one fight for the next weekend. That is Ray Vargas versus Oshaki Foster, which is for the vacant WBC super featherweight fight. But before I go there, I want to say just a few words about this fight. Mario Barrios coming back. Yes, after the loss to Gervonta Davis. Yeah, Mario Barrios, he has, of course, two back-to-back losses to Gervonta and Keith Thurman. That's right. And he hasn't had a fight now in a year, so he's now fighting a guy who is called Giovanni Santiago. Well, I've never heard of this guy really before, I must be honest, but I see his last fight was in 2021, well, in May. So he lost to Gary Antoine Russell by 6 round retirement corner. Before that, he fought Adrian Broner that same year and he lost on points. Alright, so this is a guy who is obviously there. He's from Puerto Rico, by the way. Uh, you know, he's a lot shorter than Barrios, but still, Barrios is very tall for this super lightweight division, 6 feet actually. Wow. Well, this guy Santiago is obviously there, just to provide a good test for Barrios, but I think it's a very winnable fight on paper, for Barrios. And it also will be taking place in the hometown of Barrios, which is San Antonio, Texas. So it's a 10-round fight, which is probably the best thing, after you have been away for a year, And I just think Barrios will win this one, and probably on points, because even though Santiago has been stopped by Antoine Russell, Gary, uh, I mean Gary is just a real puncher, and that was by a corner retirement. So Barrios is more of a, he does have also a good punch, but he's more like a guy who wears you out, down the stretch. And while I certainly can see him winning by a stoppage here, I just would not really go for that, since he's been away for so long and all that, Yeah. And Santiago seems to be rather, solid fighter who has only been stopped once by a guy who really can punch. So my prediction is Barrios by unanimous decision. Alright, then we go finally to this main event on Saturday. Yes, so Ray Vargas, who is still unbeaten at 36-0 with 22 KOs. He is the former WBC featherweight and super bantamweight, champion who actually won the WBC featherweight title not that long ago in his probably best victory so far against Mark Magsayo. He is now fighting at 130 super featherweight against this guy Oshaki Foster, who is called Ice Water. And he's 19-2-0 with 11 knockouts. So maybe not a true puncher, but not completely without power either. He did knock out Miguel Roman, who was, however, pretty washed up. So the best victory of Foster was in his last fight in March last year when he beat the 18-0 Muhammad Kuya Yakubov, a very solid fighter from Tajikistan. On points, he beat him really, clearly on all scorecards. So this guy, yeah, is getting quite a lot of praise, Shaki, and yeah, but still, he's also rather tall at 5'8.5", but Vargas is also 5'7.5", so there's not a big difference here. Yeah, Vargas. He's just, really tricky, good technical and defensive fighter, and I don't see this guy Ushaki just being able to break through that, break and yeah, simply or outboxing even, because he is very good. I mean, but still, Yakubov is more of that offensive type fighter. I would say he's not a defensive guy and stuff like that. And while it is a very good victory, it still is not, should not make people say, oh, he will beat Ray Vargas or he is favored to win. So my I think just that Vargas has a lot more experience from world title fights and has just simply a bit more polish to him, technically and defensively and all that. And it will just be hard to beat this guy, He's still, rather, in a good age at 32. He's not, hasn't shown signs of, slowing down. And he has been rather active, and his last fight wasn't that long ago, So all that taken into consideration, he even though he has never fought at 130, that's the only thing that goes against him. And Oshaki Foster is actually a super fairway at 130 guy. Actually, has been for like all of his career so far, I guess, or most of it. And yeah, but of course, I'm not really excluding the possibility of an upset, that Foster wins this fight, but and he's from Texas, and this fight is also at San Antonio, but I don't know. I hope that will not influence the judging, the scorecards. Hope not. We've seen too much of that, lately, also in the United States. So in that way, it's possible that Foster may get some kind of hometown decision. But other than that, I don't know really. I think Vargas is just looks to me like too strong on paper. I mean, the fact that he beat Mark Magsayo, however you call it, Magsayo, who was unbeaten and really, had a win over Gary Allen Russell and Julio Ceja and all those guys, Panya, Utok, and yeah, all those guys. So the fact that he beat that all those guys, that he beat Magsayo really, speaks highly, strongly in his favor. But I don't know really why he's moving up. Maybe he just can't make the weight, but he didn't spend so much time at 126. He only had two fights, as far as I can see. So I don't know if this is a good idea, and him not really being a puncher, and doesn't speak in favor of him, having an easy time at 130, which has some good bangers, and we Oscar Valdez and yeah. Well, anyway, and that other guy from Tajikistan, actually, that I just forgot his name right now. It escapes me. Rakimov, yeah, Rakimov. So yeah, but anyway, I'll be surprised if Vargas lost. I mean, fairly, other than by a hometown crooked decision. So that's I think Vargas should be able to win here, or maybe even a draw may happen. Who knows? But anyway, I favor Vargas to win this fight. All right, so that would be all for this time, and be sure to watch me in the Boxing Shit podcast on Sundays at 2 2 a.m. Eastern Time and 7 p.m. British Time. All right, thank you all for watching.